Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, Vintage Sports Card Finds. We're doing a video today on my top 10 baseball cards in my PC. And we did one for football, and I wanted to touch in on this baseball because we're closing in on spring training. I'm trying to do all these videos close to the start of the year so that next year when I review how we're making out, we can sort of look back, and have a year's time as kind of the determinant. So I'm trying to get this done all at the most of January and beginning of February. Without any further ado, let's get into some of the honorable mentions. So here we have, let me see if I can adjust this just so. All right, so here we have one of the honorable mentions, Roberto Clemente's last card. Sorry. 1973 Roberto Clemente. And this is a PSA 6. So I got this card in a trade where I was actually set up at a card show, which I haven't done that a lot, but I've done it on occasion. This was pre-pandemic, and I had a lot of silver. Nice looking card, for tough to get 73s and 6s. So this card was already graded, and I was able to get it in trade for some American Silver Eagles. So it worked out really well. I got this one and another card on this list in that scenario. So that's the Clemente. Another card, Carl Yastrzemski, also 1973, in an excellent mint 6. It's a nice looking card. Yaz, one of my favorite players, being a Red Sox fan. Carl Yastrzemski, certainly one of the elites in franchise history. This card here was a pickup during 2021, and it's my only pre-war baseball card. So it gets an honorable mention because it's a card that, just has special meaning to me. I don't know its value. I got it as part of a collection. I want to say I actually picked this up middle of 2022 as part of a large collection. This one here is a Clayton Kershaw rookie from the 2008 Topps update, graded SGC 8. So this is a beautiful card, great looking card. A little off center, obviously, left to right, but really nice card. Certainly on the honorable mention list, Clayton Kershaw. I got this as part of a buy, and I'll link this in the description below. It's part of a big buy I made from a collector in Canada that included all of the top sets from 1973 through 2020, including all the update sets. And this card was among the group, and it was graded. I did a video on this when on that collection buy when I was, back in. I think it was the first video I ever did when I started the channel. So if you want to check it out, I'll put a link to it in the description below. But also, you can get all the details on that collection. It was the very first video I did. This one here is a Jeter in a PSA 9. It's a regular Jeter rookie. No gold, no nothing like that, but in a PSA 9. I picked this one up this year at a flea market, and it was already graded, and I had a PSA 8, so this one replaced it and went into my PC. And last on the honorable mention list is this Roberto Clemente League Leaders card, NL Batting Leaders, which also includes Vida Ken Boyer, and Wally Moon. So the key to this card is certainly Clemente. It's a 62 Clemente and a 5.5. I mean, it's badly off center, but any Clemente from especially 62 that grades over 5 is always nice. This is an SGC 5.5. And I picked this up this year at a person who came into the flea market looking to sell some cards, and this was one of them. So that was cool. All right, so let's get into the top 10. Number 10 is the Mike Schmidt rookie card. This is not in great shape. It's off center, but I finally picked it up in that collection by, I mean, this is not a great looking card, but Mike Schmidt's a great player. One of my favorite non-Red Sox growing up. And so Mike Schmidt, this is a card I'd always been looking for and had never gotten. When I bought that collection, the 1973 set was complete. The Schmidt was not in great shape, but it's a genuine Mike Schmidt, and I'm excited to have it in my collection. So that's ranks number 10. Number 9 is a George Brett rookie. Now, on the face, this George Brett rookie looks really nice. But there were some issues. This also came from that collection. Most of that collection I bought from Canada was in phenomenal shape. But the 73 and the 75 had an issue. I don't know if you can see those corners. It's almost like these things, the whole set looked like it was placed in one of those old school photo albums and had an indent on all four corners. I can sort of see it in the video. I hope you can see it. You see the little indents there? It's weird, but some of the cards in that 75 set didn't have it, but this one did. So George Brett, really nice condition, except for this. And that was the tragedy of the 75 that I got in that set, was that in 75, they were in impeccable shape. The corners' sharpness was off the chain. But as it related to these indents, it screwed the whole thing. But it is a George Brett rookie. This one I picked up. This is number 8. This one I picked up in a collection I bought in March of 2022. And it's the Cal Ripken traded rookie. I had one already in my collection. It was in nice shape, but it had surface creasing. You guys know what I mean when the surface is broken. It's almost like the surface cracks. I don't know exactly how to, the terminology to use for that. But this one came in that collection I bought in March of 2022 with a lot of old school 57s and things like that. So that was a nice buy, nice pickup. And I was able to replace the old one with this one, which is in much nicer shape. This one I bought recently, and it's the 1964 second year Pete Rose. And it's a nice shape. This is one I'm going to send off to be graded because it is just a really nice shape. I think it'll come back a 6. That's what I think. And it's second year Pete Rose, first year that Pete Rose is on a card by himself. So that's a nice addition to the collection, and I needed that for that 64 set. Another card I think I'll be sending off to be graded with the Rose is the Johnny Bench rookie. Now, my last video I did was on the 1968 set. I'm very close on the 68 set, but the Johnny Bench rookie is just. So when I remember when I bought it from a guy on Craigslist. He had a lot of cool old vintage. It's actually where I picked up the 68 Roger Maris. I remember when I was doing the 68 video, I remember saying to somebody, or I remember saying in the video that, hey, I don't know where I picked up this Roger Maris. It was in this same buy with this Johnny Bench. So there was a lot of cool vintage in there. 50s football, just a lot of really cool stuff. Tall boys from the 60s in football, Nick Bonacani rookie, things like that. So I was able to make this purchase. And for whatever reason, some of the cards were in off condition. So I remember thinking to myself, oh, the Johnny Bench I have it, but it's not that nice. This is actually a little bit nicer than I thought. And so I'm thinking of sending this one in, and I think it has a chance of getting a 5. So I'll probably send that along with Pete Rose. This is a card I bought. I'm going to lay these down. This is a PSA Ricky Henderson near mint 8. This one I sent off to be graded myself. I bought a collection, like I told you, in March that had a lot of key rookies and really great stuff in it. And the Ricky Henderson, there were 11 Ricky Hendersons. 11 Ricky Henderson rookies. And I was like, wow, this is incredible. So I picked the best 3 and I sent them off to be graded. And this one got the highest grade. So it's a PSA 8. I was hoping for a 9, but I got a PSA 8 because PSA doesn't hand out 9s anymore on anything 1980 and back. I'm just kidding. I'm sure PSA does a remarkable fine-tooth comb job. Of the 3 I sent in, I got an 8, a 7, and an altered. The altered kind of threw me back because, quite frankly, all 3 cards came from the same collection and were all stored the same way. But, alas, here we are. The next card, this is card number 4. And, quite frankly, these were kind of like, could go one way, could go the other, but I decided that card number 4 would be the Yastrzemski rookie in a PSA 4. That 1973 Roberto Clemente came in the same trade with this Carl Yastrzemski. I got them both at a show that I was set up, and a guy was looking for some silver, and he was looking to deal these cards. So we worked out a deal, and it ended up being a good deal for me. I knew what I had into the coins, and then I also, which wasn't the value of that I was getting in trade for the coins, so it was actually better. Plus, he gave me a Shoeless Joe card that was a reprint, and I was able to make some of the money back on that. I sold it same day at the show, so that was great. Card number 3 is a 1957 Ted Williams. So to me, this is iconic. Probably most of my life as a kid when I started collecting, I could pretty much assert that I would never end up with Mickey Mantles, Ted Williams, Babe Ruths, that sort of thing. These guys were just unattainable. These are cards that, when I was a kid, you might as well said they were $5 billion cards because, right, from a poor background, we didn't really have a lot of money. This wasn't going to happen. But, you grow up, you get a job, and you do okay, and you sort of kind of see what you can get. And I was able to pick this card up at a show well before the pandemic, and I was able to pick it up for, I think, $100. 1957, and already graded. I was more than happy to pay the $100. Card number 1. Very tough card to get in a decent grade because, quite frankly, as most of you guys know, cards from the 50s, card number 1 and the last card in a set are very, very difficult to get in decent shape. They usually have rubber band marks on them, indents on the edges and whatnot. So this was a really nice pickup at the time, and it's in one of the old holders. So that's card number 3. Card number 2 for the modern folks, or I guess sort of modern. It's a Mike Trout rookie update. All right, and this is in a 7. Now, this one I picked up in the collection from Canada. Again, like I said, that collection had every top set complete from 1973 through 2020. All the cards graded. Including the updates. And it had 2 graded cards. It had that SGC Kershaw that went into was in the honorable mentions, and then this Trout. And this Trout, look, he's one of the best players now. For whatever reason, Mike Trout has been the go-to guy of the last 20 years. He's certainly a great player. Hasn't won anything, but he's played his whole career in LA, and they haven't exactly gone out of their way to make a great team either. So Mike Trout, this is a high value card. I would never buy this card on my own, just like this graded, but I would buy it in a large bulk buy. So I worked out what that collection cost me. It worked out to something like 20 cents a card. Now, granted, 25 cents a card, I want to say. So now 25 cents a card is high for like 1990 tops. But if you also factor in that you paid 25 cents for this card, which at the time when I bought it was selling for about $700, it is what it is. You know what I mean? So, it was a good deal. I mean, obviously, that's on a per card basis. So I really, I paid more for this card, but in the end, that's what each card cost me. So I was very happy to pick up this. I'll pick up stuff like this in bulk buys, but I will not buy modern cards for hundreds of dollars just because I don't think it's a good investment. And that's just me. That's just my personal opinion. And then my number 1 card, I've shown it on the channel a couple of times, and this was a card I had graded myself as part of that Ricky Henderson group I sent off. So card number 1 in my collection, in my mind, and as far as baseball goes, is this card, my 1964 Mickey Mantle, in an excellent to mint 6. I picked this card up, like I said, this one I picked up from a guy on Craigslist. He messaged me and he had 3 great cards and a bunch of other really decent cards all mixed in together. But this was the card that was in the picture that attracted my attention. This and the Wayne Gretzky rookie. And of course, a Michael Jordan rookie sticker. I sent all 3 in. I thought this one and the Michael Jordan had a chance at a 6. I thought the Gretzky also had a chance. I'll get to those cards when I do my basketball and hockey list. But the Mantle came back as a 6. And I was afraid it might not. I was afraid that this was in an old press down holder. And I was really afraid that this would be the card that would come back to me altered. But the fellas at PSA said, no, this one's good. It's this other card that we think is not good, or whatever the case may be. So that was Ricky Henderson and one other card. So the Mantle for now, this is the best card in my collection. And now I'm gonna say this. Quite frankly, these cards may or may not be the most valuable in the collection. They might carry a certain amount of monetary value, and they are obviously expensive cards, in their grade or whatever the case may be. But the way I put these lists together is really with one kind of principle in mind, is how important are these cards to me? So, a lot of these cards, having Ted Williams, having Carl Yastrzemski's rookie, having a Mickey Mantle, having, Ricky Henderson's rookie, graded an 8, having a Johnny Bench. For example, George Brett's rookie, when I was a kid, was a very, very critical card to me. It seemed completely out of reach. And so to have it in my collection is important to me. And I know that raw in that condition, that card's not a big dollar card. Are there probably bigger dollar cards in my collection? Probably. I don't know. I'd have to, sort of scout around. But to me, it's important. It's one of those cards that I needed to get. And that's what these cards represent to me. And I try to put them in a numerical order, but they're all important to me. That's it, guys. I want to thank you very much. It's time to get ready for spring training because pitchers and catchers will be reporting real soon. If you guys enjoy the content, please comment, like, subscribe. I always try to return all the comments, and offer feedback if somebody has a question, or I've been getting some really great comments lately from folks, and it is always appreciated. The likes certainly help the channel get more views. I want to thank all the new subscribers, all the subscribers who've been with us since the beginning. Just your support means the world to us, to me personally, and I just want to thank you. Be sure to check out my eBay link. It'll be in the description below. And that's it. I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you stuck to the end. And hey, happy hunting. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a great night.